The plans by the Kenya government to establish a nuclear plant in the country is seen as a step towards the right direction. However, there are safety and regulatory concerns that need to be addressed, and this is according to Kamande, the CEO of the Kenya Radiation Protection Board, who spoke to CNBC Africa's Bonney, Tunya.
The conversation about providing Africa with a sustainable and affordable and clean energy solution has been ongoing for a very long time. When you look at the sort of investments that we're doing now, from geothermal to now the conversation about nuclear power, how would you rate the trend that we're seeing so far?
Now, to do a nuclear power program for a country, minimum, you require 15 years. There is a lot of infrastructure that needs to be put in place. One I've already mentioned, you need to have a credible, sustainable distribution network.
Right.
One that will not really let down the consumers and wastages and all that. Now, you know, for nuclear power, they recommend, a lot of people recommend that the distribution networks really cannot be designed to do 100%
right.
Feed from a nuclear power plant.
Right.
No. They say probably 30% of the distribution network.
What makes nuclear power so attractive for an emerging economy? Is it the cost? Is it its sustainability? What exactly makes it attractive? Because Kenya has been working on this for a pretty long time now. Yes, there have been massive investments in geothermal, and we've seen increase in terms of what is pumped into the national grid currently. But what is this that makes nuclear power particularly attractive?
It's basically cost per unit, really, in the long run. But initially, it's a lot of capital investment for a nuclear power plant. There's a lot of human resource issues. For example, for every megawatt, say if a nuclear power plant was to do 1,000 megawatts production, then that would mean for every megawatt, you count one person. So for such a plant, you require 1,000 persons, for example. Okay, maybe 0.9 of a person, but between 900 and 1,000 persons are required, of various disciplines. Engineers, technicians, managers, safety officers, and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You've mentioned safety, and that is the elephant in the room whenever we're talking about nuclear energy.
Yes.
Do we have capacity to ensure the safety of our people when we go this route?
In the beginning, I talked about there are many issues to consider when it comes to developing nuclear power program. I talked about distribution network. That's just one. But there are other issues that must be developed. For example, you require a proper regulatory framework.
Over and beyond what we already have.
Yes.
Right.
You need to grow really the regulatory infrastructure to accommodate nuclear power program. Because really it's, when we talk about safety of a nuclear power plant, you know, we are not only talking, for example, about Kenya. A nuclear power plant, you remember what happened in Fukushima. The effects were felt here in way of goods and stuff like that coming here that were contaminated. And within their regions, the plumes from those nuclear power plants really affected other places. So it's really a regional matter when it comes to safety of a nuclear power plant.
Does that complicate the roadmap to achieving this?
It does,
right.
And I'm happy that East African countries are getting together as an economic bloc, because now they can address such issues collectively. But of course, somebody will be very uncomfortable if I put a nuclear power plant, you know, by a border, near a border with them.
Yeah.
They need to be involved. Safety is a big issue. The other one is security, really, of that particular installation must also be secured, you know. And of course, we need to keep count of everything that goes on in a nuclear power plant.
Right.
So it's a big undertaking, not impossible. It takes time. You need to train a lot of people of various disciplines,
Right.
as I mentioned earlier. And so it's a big undertaking, and that's why I said, in the minimum, you require about 15 years